Welcome back to Live at 5. I'm Sierra McQueen.
And I'm Haley Gordon. Well, guys, we're only 20 days away from Thanksgiving.
And oh my gosh, 52 days away from Christmas. Have you started Christmas shopping yet?
Not one thing.
I've checked off like maybe 4 things so far.
See, I can't get excited about it yet because I am a turkey baby, so I get excited about Thanksgiving first.
Yes. See, I'm not trying to like rush and, sing Christmas carols and put my tree up and stuff like that. I just like feeling that I'm getting this Christmas shopping out of the way so then I can actually enjoy like going to Christmas parties and not have like severe anxiety about going to Walmart on Christmas Eve.
I like the pressure.
You crazy girl.
I do like the
You
pressure.
special kind of crazy.
I like it.
Well, we'll have plenty for you tonight, so let's get right to tonight's story. Richmond County will hold municipal elections for the various towns throughout the county next week on Tuesday, November 7th. Hamlet and Ellerbe are their elections to watch, given the fact that multiple incumbents in either municipality will face challengers. The mayors of Ellerbe, Hamlet, Hoffman, and Rockingham can rest easy as they are all running without opposition.
With the election fast approaching, the Richmond Observer wishes to give each candidate a platform to communicate with the residents of Richmond County one last time before casting their votes. Not all candidates choose to respond, but they were all presented with the opportunity. Stay updated with local election information on our website, www.richmondobserver.com. And after a short break, we will go to Lance Jenkins with the RO's election reporter, Crystal Mack.
McNair Auto Sales is the place to buy your pre-owned car, truck, or van. To be the best, it takes big selection, friendly staff, and great pricing. We guarantee a no-hassle buying experience, and financing is available right on site. So come see us today. We're located at 1026 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And remember, with over 40 years of experience, you know McNair is the name you can trust.
At Richmond Community College, we can prepare you for a high-skill, high-paying career in a variety of fields. From business to education, engineering, utilities, healthcare, criminal justice, information technology, and human services. At Richmond Community College, we can save you thousands of dollars on tuition through our university transfer programs that provide a seamless transition to universities and colleges throughout North Carolina. At Richmond Community College, we are always developing new courses and programs in response to the communities we serve. We offer day, evening, and online courses, and you can now complete 5 curriculum programs entirely online. At Richmond Community College, we believe in helping you prepare for a better life. Richmond Community College. Local college, big impact.
With hospice, you guys just outdo yourselves every day. And I really appreciate it. I honest to God don't know what I would do if it weren't for you. The things that you do, I'm in approval of. And thank you. I don't know what else to say other than thank you.
And welcome back to Live at 5. I'm Lance Jenkins, and in studio today for this exclusive interview with the Richmond Observer's elections correspondent, Crystal Mack, and she's no stranger to the Richmond Observer, been with us since day one and making her first appearance on Live at 5 today. Glad to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk about local elections coming up. Early voting is going on, but the local elections are going on next Tuesday, November 7th, and will end, and we'll have winners that day.
Right.
And let's talk about Hamlet. Hamlet is real exciting right now because those elections are opposed.
Yes.
What have you found out in your research with Hamlet?
Right. So Hamlet is a pretty fiery election because the incumbents, Jesse McQueen and Eddie Martin, are both facing opponents, Stephanie Dixon and Jerry Dean Lamont. There is also a write-in candidate, Ernest Johnson, in the primaries that we have just found out about. So I'm excited to see the outcome of it. As a resident of Hamlet, I see the flyers up everywhere. There's big campaign efforts going on in Hamlet. So I'm just excited to see the results, to be very honest.
Yeah, so it's interesting, when you have a write-in candidate, usually the write-in candidate has an advantage if there's going to be low turnout in elections. Now, if this was a presidential election going on right now, it probably wouldn't be a low turnout.
Right.
But it's local elections, and a lot of times local elections will feature low turnout. That kind of helps the write-in candidate here, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Especially for people who are a little bit uninformed about the elections or who are new to it and are just looking for a different, fresh face. We all like fresh faces, and so he might actually stand a good chance.
Yeah, it sounds like it, yeah, because like I said, anytime you got low turn, I mean, it could be a 1 or 2 vote thing, and this guy who's a write-in candidate, not even on the ballot, ends up winning the whole thing. So exciting times in Hamlet right
Yes,
now.
it
And
is.
so you're a resident of Hamlet. Did you early vote, or you like to vote the day of?
So it's funny that you asked that. I just recently moved back, so
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting here
You're
actually trying to figure out
that's
if
right,
I'm
wait.
registered.
Right,
Now
right.
I did think that I'm registered, but I was looking this morning. I was like, did I register? But I didn't find my name. But at any rate,
That happened to me one time.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hopefully I can participate, because one thing that I've seen is that people in my age group do not participate. We millennials in local elections, we tend to come out for the
That's true.
presidential election. So
Well, that's it.
I'm actually, putting fire behind myself to get more
Good.
involved.
Fantastic. Well, Hamlet obviously got a lot going on there, and it'll be very exciting to see the finish, and we'll have all the coverage the following day as the elections close on Tuesday night. Now, as a matter of fact, we'll probably have coverage that night, exclusive election coverage that evening. So let's talk about Ellerbe. Ellerbe's got contested elections as well.
It does. The incumbents for Ellerbe are Corey Brewington, John C. Fletcher, and Archie Robertson. And they're being opposed by Fred Collinger and Lee Freeman. Now, I don't have a pulse on whether or not these opponents actually stand a chance against the incumbents. But again, it should be, exciting anytime that you're having a race where there are opponents.
That's right.
Unfortunately, speaking of not having opponents, like Dobbin Heights, their election, which just held last month, and probably news to a lot that it actually happened, is that they had a low turnout, and mostly because the incumbents were unopposed. So people don't tend to show up or show out for unopposed elections. So
Right.
Hamlet and Ellerbe stand a good turnout for a good voter turnout. For
Well,
the
like
election.
you just said, I mean, people don't show up a lot of times for local elections, and that's a shame, because a lot of times the local issues are the most important issues
Exactly.
to them. But in this case, like we said in Hamlet, you got a write-in candidate. I mean, anything can happen when it's low voter turnout, because bottom line is, highest vote getters, they're in,
Right.
regardless of who came out. So, I mean, if 20 people came out, there's no majority rule or anything like that in local elections. It's highest vote getters in. So it should be interesting to see. I think we're going to see some surprises in Ellerbe and Hamlet, one way or the other, simply because of low voter turnout.
Exactly. And speaking of voting and high votes in Rockingham, even though all of the incumbents are running unopposed, that voter turnout is important, because the highest number of votes get the longer terms when it comes to the seats in the council.
Right.
So even though all of the incumbents are running unopposed, there's still something at stake, which is, am I going to
Absolutely.
get a 4-year term, or am
Or
I
a
going to have to
2-year
do this
term.
again in a
In
couple
2
of years?
years, yeah,
Right.
I have to do that. And that, quite frankly, is why you see signs up around town
Exactly.
for elections here in Rockingham, despite the fact that they are unopposed.
Exactly.
So, folks, a lot going on, obviously, in elections. Crystal Mack done a lot of research on what you can expect in Hamlet and Ellerbe, and of course, who's running. If you want the full story from Crystal Mack, you can read it on richmondobserver.com. And of course, we appreciate having you in studio today.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, folks. Crystal Mack, been with the Richmond Observer since day one, and we are grateful to have her, folks. We will be right back, and I'll turn us back over to our anchors tonight for more weather and sports right after this.
I'm Kelly. I worked at Champion Ford for 2 years.
6 years.
3 years.
1 year.
I've been at Champion Ford for 13 years.
1 whole year. 15 years.
I'm Jamie. I've been at Champion Ford for 12 years.
I've been here 8 years.
Champion prices, champion service, champion experience.
Get treated like a champion today at Champion Ford. just down the road from High Prices, ChampionFordLincoln.com.
We are Champion Ford.
Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts is all about rustic home decor and gifts. You will always find a variety of unique antiques, vintage, and new items in our shop. Come and see our selection of housewarming, new baby, and wedding gifts. For the man in your life, we have many collectibles, Boker knives, and leather. And ladies love the jewelry, purses, candles, hats, and t-shirts. We also offer a 30-day layaway program. Come and experience shopping at Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts.
Welcome back to Live at 5. The Richmond County Sheriff's Department reports that 2 separate incidents resulted in arrests last week in Rockingham. The Sheriff's Department arrested Charles Joseph Strickland of Rockingham on October 26th. Strickland was charged with larceny and obtaining property by false pretenses. The arrest was executed subsequent to an investigation into him stealing power tools and pawning them at a local pawn shop. Strickland was placed in Richmond County Jail under a secure bond of $5,000.
Another arrest was made in regard to drug possession charges on the next evening. The Richmond County Sheriff's Department arrested Samantha Leanne Williamson on Friday, October 27th. Williamson was charged with possession with intent to sell and deliver a Schedule II controlled substance, as well as felony possessions of a Schedule II controlled substance. The arrest was executed subsequent to an investigation into illegal drug activity. Williamson was found to be in possession of crack cocaine and was placed in the Richmond County Jail under a secure bond of $5,000.
It was a picture-perfect day Wednesday as the Richmond County Special Olympics held its fall bocce ball games at East Rockingham Park. 8 Richmond County schools participated, 123 athletes practiced for the event, and 116 registered to play. After the games, the athletes and volunteers enjoyed hot dogs, which were cooked and served by the Richmond County Sheriff's Department and probation and parole officers. For those interested in to volunteer, donate, coach, sponsor, or help in any way, contact Teresa Smith at 910-997-8379 or on the Richmond County Special Olympics Facebook page.
Friends and family of J.C. Lamb and Hilda Butler recently established the Joshua Michael Lamb Memorial Endowed Scholarship at Richmond Community College in memory of the charismatic young man. The scholarship will be awarded each academic semester beginning immediately. The $500 scholarship will help offset the cost of tuition, fees, and books for the Richmond Community College student. To learn more about the scholarship fund or how to contribute to its growth, contact Hal Schuler at 910-410-1807 or whschuler at richmondcc.edu.
The USA Dance Annual Fall Formal is Saturday, November 11th at the Elks Lodge in Southern Pines. This year will be a catered banquet dinner, 2 hours of dancing, prizes, and surprises. Tickets are $25 per person to cover the event, but a cash bar will be available. Tickets are available to be purchased on Wednesday night from 6:30 to 7:30 at First Health Fitness in Pinehurst Studio A, Thursday night 6:30 to 8:30 at the National Athletic Village, or by calling 910-331-9965. Mark your calendar for this formal event and night of fun. Up next, Lance Jenkins has an exclusive interview with storytellers and authors J.A. and Azalea Bolton to talk about their new book and book signing event.
McNair Auto Sales is the place to buy your pre-owned car, truck, or van. To be the best, it takes big selection, friendly staff, and great pricing. We guarantee a no-hassle buying experience, and financing is available right on site. So come see us today. We're located at 1026 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And remember, with over 40 years of experience, you know McNair is the name you can trust.
Family Pharmacy has been serving Richmond County since April 2007, and we have enjoyed getting to know our customers since then. We take our jobs very seriously, and will do whatever we can to make sure you have what you need. Come visit us on Fayetteville Road in Rockingham, and we will treat you like family.
And welcome back to Live at 5, and I'm excited to be in studio today for this exclusive interview with two very special people in the Richmond Observer family, J.A. and Azalea Bolton. Glad to have you all in studio.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lance. Glad to be here.
Well, and of course, you all, I mean, not only are you writing for the Observer, y'all have written for many publications well before the Observer came around, but you all have two books out. First one was published in 2016, Just Passing Time, Mr. J.A. Bolton. And then the two of you wrote together one that was published this year, Just Passing Time Together, 2017. So we are excited to have you on our team, obviously, because y'all are well-accomplished authors and published authors. Tell us about what made you write this book, Just Passing Time. It was published in 2016.
Well, a little history about it. Back in 2002, I had a heart attack. And I had told stories all my life, but I had never written any. So I decided during my about a year of recuperation, I had also been an outdoors person. I couldn't do a lot of things when it was real cold, real hot, so I just started writing about my grandparents and experiences on the farm and everything. And it took me probably a week to write this one story, but it just brought back so many memories that I wanted my grandchildren and children to know before I got gone, because these stories need to be carried on. All these stories in the books and everything. But how I originally got started telling stories was my dad, he worked at Carolina Standard and everything. We lived on 74. And back then there was two stores on 74 at the River Bridge. And we would go there in the evening when he got off work on Saturday, and there'd be a lot of people sitting on Coca-Cola crates and whatever, drinking Coca-Colas and peanuts and whatever, and you could see who could tell the biggest story, or who caught the biggest fish, or who killed the biggest deer. Well, I got really interested, and they got me to tell the stories, and I got so good they started buying me a Pepsi-Cola and a bag of peanuts just to tell them a story.
Just to tell the stories. So obviously you're good at it. And I actually, well before you started writing for the Observer, I heard about your storytelling. So evidently it's quite famed.
Correct.
No doubt about that. So the book came out in 2016, Just Passing Time, and then together, literally Just Passing Time Together being the title, you all wrote together that was published this year. So what made you obviously want, is this your debut? Is this y'all's debut published?
Yes.
Yeah, so, and they're beautiful books too, and we'll talk about where you can purchase them in just a moment. Let's talk about you for a moment. When you got involved in Just Passing Time Together, how did it feel, one, to be a published author, and two, to also delve into the storytelling?
Well, it's a wonderful experience to be able to put your thoughts into written print, and I thought it was good for my grandchildren and my daughter to know about experiences that I had growing up. We have only one child, and she doesn't know how it is to be a member of 4 like I was, 3 brothers and me. So a lot of my stories are experiences growing up, with 3 brothers.
Right. And so, and a lot of your stories, I'm assuming, are in this book as well.
That's correct. I have 15 there, and J.A. has 16.
Well, it's super neat that your family will be able to remember your legacy and your stories forever as a result of being published. And Just Passing Time, again, came out in 16, and Just Passing Time Together in 17. So, big event coming up for you all. These 2 books, first off, are available at, and if it's okay, I'll let our viewers know, Medical Center Pharmacy, the Christian Bookstore, Ellerby Pharmacy, Richmond County Tourism and Museum, right here on the corner of 74 and US 1. Family Pharmacy, Ned's Pawn Shop, the Rankin Museum, and leave any out there. I think we're good. Yeah, but you can purchase either one of these books at either locations that we just mentioned, one of 7 locations in Richmond County. And of course, you'll want to get your book because y'all got the big event coming up Monday, November 13th, a book signing.
Right, at Leith Memorial Library from 4 to 6. We'll be signing books, and last year on my first book, I was amazed at the friends and the people that come out and talked, and we just had a good time. We had a little reception there. They were gracious enough at the library to put this on for us, and we just had a great time, expecting a big time this time.
That will be a lot of fun. Yeah, they do a great job over at Leith Library.
They do. I want to commend all the employees of the library systems, and they do a great job.
They certainly do. So 4 to 6 p.m., not this upcoming Monday, but the following, November 13th. It's at the bottom of your screen right now. You can get your book signed, your copy. Now, will there be copies available that night?
Yes, they will.
Okay, so if they don't have to, if they can get a copy there at the library. Okay, fantastic.
We'll be glad to autograph it for them.
That'll be perfect. Now, what if somebody comes with a copy of Just Passing Time? You'll still sign that, even though it's not the new book.
Oh, yes, I appreciate them every week getting and everything, but I've been to the Norman Festival at Norman, and we had a great time just talking about the books, and it's stories people can relate to. It's just not stories just picked out of the air. You can relate to it growing up on a farm or fishing or hunting or riding your bicycle or whatever it might be.
So can you give us, before you guys leave, can you give us an example? I know you won't be able to tell the whole story, but can you tell us about a story that comes to mind, in particularly your book, and then I'm going to ask you about y'all's book together.
One of I particularly like to tell stories is about the biggest, the meanest catfish in Petey River. Some call him Old Whiskers, but most call him the devil itself. So y'all just read and you'll find out a lot of history of how it was and how a curse was put on this fish. And he's still in Petey River. If you go up Petey River, you better get something bigger than a mule to pull that fish in because he's still in there.
I'll tell you something. That is why folks bought this guy Pepsi-Cola and a pack of peanuts right there. That was great. So, and then you tell me, if you will, about, if it's all right, I'll just ask you about a story that you've told in Just Passing Time Together.
One is especially that is close to my heart is called A Tribute to a Veteran, which is about the funeral of my cousin that lived in the mountains of North Carolina. And the horses, seemed to not being paying any attention to the funeral going on the other side of the fence. But they came up and paid tribute even during the playing of taps and the shooting of the weapons and everything for the salute and the folding of the flag. They did not move a muscle. They just stood there as if they were paying tribute too. It was a wonderful experience. It really was.
Yeah, that is, and that is neat. It's amazing how animals know so much.
I know. Horses are really intelligent anyway.
It really is. They know what's going on. So folks, I'm so glad to have you all in studio today. And two wonderful pieces of work here. Just Passing Time, J.A. Bolton, published in 2016 by the St. Andrews University Press. And then, of course, Just Passing Time Together. It was just published this year. They'll be signing both of those books at Leith Memorial Library Monday, November 13th from 4 to 6 p.m. Come out. And if you can't make it there, you can always get your copy at one of the places we mentioned earlier. Again, I'll run through it real quickly if that's all right. Medical Center Pharmacy, Ellerby Pharmacy, Family Pharmacy, Christian Bookstore, Richmond County Tourism and Museum, Ned's Pawn Shop, and the Rankin Museum. So tons of places that you can get these exciting books, some of the great stories we were just talking about, excerpts, I know, but you can get the whole story if you'll purchase one of these books.
If you don't live in town, you can get them off Amazon.
Okay, so they are available on Amazon. Yeah, everybody's very familiar with Amazon, Amazon.com. I'm sure you can search for J.A. Bolton, Azalea Bolton, or Just Passing Time and Just Passing Time Together, and you can get your copy there. So grateful to have you all in studio today.
Thank you, man.
Here, thank you.
Thank you all y'all do at Richmond Observer.
We appreciate that, and we're certainly glad to have these two fine folks on our team. You can read their work on richmondobserver.com as well. Thank you all for joining us. Folks, stay with us. We'll be back for more weather and sports right after this.
Welcome back to Live at 5. The Richmond Raider varsity football team is aiming for a win Friday night against Scotland High School. If they manage the win, the Raiders would be tied with Scotland in overall and conference record and would share the SAC title. The Raiders are looking to redeem last year's 21-0 loss to the Scots, which was only the second time in Richmond's history that it was blanked on the scoreboard. Kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. on Friday at Pate Stadium. The Richmond Observer will have full coverage throughout the night.
On November 4th, the Richmond Youth Raiders football program will be hosting the first round of the NCAAU state playoffs. The Baby Raiders will host the 32-team tournament at Richmond Senior High School, the 9th Grade Academy, and Rockingham Middle School. Games are set to begin as early as 9 a.m., with Richmond's 10U team playing at 12:30 and 14U team closing out the day at 9:15 p.m. Admission to all three locations is $7 for 15 and older, $5 for 5 to 14, and free for all children under the age of 5. Any AAU League player wearing his jersey will get in for $1. For more information, contact Richmond's head coach, Errol Hood, at 910-331-6896.
And now we'll go to Kelsey with today's weather forecast.
Thanks, Haley. Today's weather is brought to you by Simply Chic Monogram Boutique. As you can see from our office cam, it's sunny again. We just got out October, and now we're back to November, and it's just hot again. But other than that, let's go on to your 3-day weather forecast, which it will be hot. Friday will high 82 with sunny skies and a low 57 with a clear evening. Saturday will high 77 with a mix of sun and clouds, but still fairly sunny, and a low 57, partly cloudy that evening as well. Sunday will high 78 with partly cloudy skies and a low 55 with clear evening. Now back to you two at the news desk.
Make sure to stay up to date with all news and sports in Richmond County by downloading the RO app for Apple and Android devices. All information can also be found on the RO Facebook and website, richmondobserver.com.
We want to also make sure your events are covered and posted in our Richmond County community calendar. Send all events to our office by email at calendar@richmondobserver.com. All right, folks, Friday night's a big game.
Yes.
The Raiders are taking on Scotland, our cross-county rivals, so you want to make sure that you go out and support them.
Yep, wear your green and gold. Don't be scared to go over there to Scotland. Rock it.
Right. It's a big night.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Richmond County. Good night.
Good night.